Welcome to the latest installment of Soul Trek. This week's episode, Getting Started. As I'm sure you're well aware, the Winter Olympic Games are on right now. And I haven't really had a chance to get into it. Things start too late. So all I've ever been able to see really so far have been the highlights, which I enjoy. It's interesting hearing some of the athletes being interviewed about their place on the podium. That got me thinking the other day about how do people get started at something like that? I mean, you don't start at the podium receiving your medal. You start very young. Probably somebody drives you to the rink or to the pool or to the track or to the hill or whatever. And when you get very interested in it, to the point where you might think you could be a competitive athlete, I'm sure there are mornings when you don't want to get up, when it just seems like too much to do that. And yet everyone at the podium receiving a medal at the Olympics started somewhere. And those who came in fourth and those who didn't make their team, they all started somewhere. And they all started in the same place. I think that's an important lesson for us when we think about our own spiritual journeys, our soul treks. Sometimes we have an expectation that we should be way better at it than we are when we start out. And I think that's unfortunate. I think we should set for ourselves very simple and straightforward goals. I think it was probably around New Year's, I heard someone on the TV talking about how to keep your New Year's resolutions. And this person was saying, if you've set a goal for yourself to run 5 miles a day, you probably should not do that. Rather than that, set something that's reasonable. Set as your goal putting on your running gear, your sneakers and your shorts or whatever. Make that your goal. Commit to doing that every day. Now, there are some days when you'll do that and get ready to run and then not feel like running, and that's okay. You've still achieved your goal. But there will be other days when you're there and you think, well, I'm dressed for running, I might as well go running. I think the same thing is true for our spiritual journeys, for the soul trek that we're on. We should set for ourselves attainable goals at the outset. So rather than thinking I'm going to meditate or pray for half hour every morning, think of it differently. Think of it in terms of I'm going to go to that place in my house or my apartment or wherever and sit down for 5 minutes and get ready to pray or meditate. And that's the goal. The goal isn't praying or meditating, it's just doing that much. And there will be times when you do that and you think, oh dear, I forgot to take the chicken out of the freezer or something like that and go do that. But there'll be other times you'll be sitting there and you think, well, I'm here, I might as well pray, I might as well meditate, I might as well take more steps on my spiritual journey. And I wish I could say that it gets easier, but it doesn't. It simply doesn't. That's not just me speaking from personal experience. You know, a number of years ago, I did a study. I got every book I could find that was about prayer, and from some giants in the meditative, prayerful realm within our Christian faith, and some very modern stuff as well. And they all said, I thought it would get easier as I got older. It doesn't. So, starting a meditative or prayerful practice has its challenges. And it continually has its challenges. That's why it's really important for us to set for ourselves attainable goals, things that we can accomplish, rather than feeling guilty because we didn't pray for half an hour today. We can say, well, at least we got ready to, at least we met that goal. And I think you'll find more often than not that you'll think to yourself, well, I'm here, I'm ready, I might as well pray for a little bit. And that's good too. And I think ultimately the goal is that we can take that energy with us. It doesn't have to be that particular place that we've set aside or that particular time. It can be any place or any time that we can turn to God in prayer, that we can meditate, that we can open ourselves up to the Holy Spirit wherever we happen to be, whether we're early in the morning, struggling to get things done, to do our practice or whatever, or whether we're at the podium receiving a gold medal, or anywhere in between. We can open ourselves up to God's presence in our lives. And my hope and prayer for all of you today is that you don't worry about reaching the podium, that you just open yourselves up to God's presence and set for ourselves. This is a lesson I need to learn myself too, to set for myself a reasonable and attainable goal in my spiritual journey. And, before I know it, it will pay dividends to us in terms of our ability to be open to God in our lives. God bless. And thank you